How about Andy Dalton? Yeah, I said it. Andy Dalton and the Carolina Panthers are back. Could we see a Joe Flacco like renaissance? A Joe Flacco esque renaissance for Andy Dalton. At 36 years old, he looks pretty good. 3 touchdowns, 300 yards passing. First quarterback to do that this season in his first start in exactly 1 year. The problem with Dalton is we've seen it before. He hasn't been a good quarterback since 2017. He was bad in 2018. He was bad in 2019. He went to the Cowboys and was bad in 2020. He went to the Bears and was bad in 2021. Then he went to the Saints and was bad in 2022. And last year he didn't play. So it's hard for me to believe in him. I think this game says a lot more about the Raiders' terrible defense than it does about Dalton. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Like I said, though, I talked about this last week. The Panthers' schedule is easy enough that they could win some games with Andy Dalton. Like, I'm going to pull up their schedule. Bengals, who are 0-3. It's a revenge game for Dalton. Could he win that? Absolutely. At home? Yeah, he could win that game. The Bears, he could win that game. The Bears look terrible. The Falcons. Okay, let's say you're on a 3-game winning streak. You're 3-2. The Falcons come to town. They're probably about 3-2 as well. Why can't you beat the Falcons at home? Falcons haven't looked great. How about Washington? Washington's going to be tough. Then Denver. You could beat Denver. The Saints, who I think the magic run is up for them, but we'll see. You could beat the Saints. Then the Giants in Germany. You could beat the Giants in Germany. The Giants aren't great. After the bye, they get Kansas City, who they will lose to. Then Tampa. You could beat Tampa. At home, Tampa hasn't looked great. They just got embarrassed by the Broncos. Eagles and Cowboys will be tough, but the Cowboys might not be. We'll see about the Cowboys. Cardinals, you could probably beat. And then they finish out with Tampa and Atlanta. It obviously, a lot of it comes down to how good are actually the Bucks, Falcons, and Saints. Because if there's not a gap between Carolina and the rest of that division, right now they're a game back. They're 1-2. Everybody else is 2-1. Or the Saints and Bucks are 2-1. It obviously depends on what's the gap between those 3 teams. But if they can be competitive in the divisional games, they have an easy non-divisional schedule. And 2 of the games that we thought were going to be hard, which would be Dallas and Cincinnati, I'm not sure if those are hard games anymore. Like, the Bears are going to be easy. The Giants are going to be easy. Who else did I say in there? Like, they have some teams they can beat. The Broncos, those are winnable games. And 2 of those teams that we looked at and were like, yeah, they're probably going to lose. Well, actually, I'm not so sure about that because the Bengals and Cowboys don't look good. So maybe they can win those games. And then at that point, if you can win 6 games from the non-divisional schedule, let's say you beat the Giants, let's say you beat the Bears, the Broncos, let's say you beat the Cowboys, Cardinals, and Bengals. If you win 6 of your non-conference, non-divisional games, all of a sudden that's 7 wins right there because you already beat the Raiders. Then all you have to do is go 3-3 in the division and you're a 10-win football team. And I think 10 wins might win that division. Certainly would probably get you into the playoffs. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying it could happen. And the Raiders, yeah, sorry. That was a fluky win. Congrats on beating the Ravens. Minshew got benched. We'll see who they go with. I would still probably stick with Minshew if you're trying to win, but my kind of secret take about the Raiders is that I almost think that they are trying to tank. Like, I don't think they would say it, but I kind of think that the Raiders don't want to win this year. I think they are looking at next year's quarterback class. I mean, no serious team goes into the year with Minshew and O'Connell as their 2 quarterbacks. So I think they're probably looking at 2025 draft and they're kind of tantalizing, like, yeah, we could get a top pick, and that would be, we can go get Shador or Carson Beck and really change the trajectory of this franchise. That's probably what they're looking at.